What?
Top marks to Gumper.
Why, do I have a filter on?
You just look like you might need to shave.
Trust me, this is a better look for me than normal.
You're not going to get a lot of arguments here.
That's exceptional.
I don't think I was expecting that, Gump. Cute.
Come on, with the Zoom one from yesterday? You guys haven't seen that cat one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
No.
we have. No, very good counter.
I was expecting a whole bunch of people to be, stepping up to the plate on this.
Give us a wolf.
Yeah.
I was using them for a while, but it kept crashing. They were in SnapCam. Is that where they're from? Yeah. And
that's the one.
For some reason, it just kept fucking up in the meetings. Then it would lock up the camera and have to reset the whatever. I thought I'd love to use them all the time. They're funny. Yeah. Excellent.
It's an improvement, though, Andrew.
It is definitely. I mean,
Friggin' hilarious.
I got to figure out the keys to make the ears pop up and everything.
They've moved on since I tried them.
Big improvements. Cosmo, what's happening? That don't work. I don't want to be heard.
Enjoying the weather?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been nice here.
Oh, you guys, man, you're hurting us. It's snow. There's still snow on the ground outside.
Claudette, what is it in Calgary today?
It's minus 25 right now.
Yeah,
but that's
Wait.
centigrade, right?
It's
Celsius.
the same when you get there.
Yeah, when you get to that cold, it's the same. It's probably
Yeah, they cross over at like 28 or something, don't
That's
they?
not
At
over
Minus 40.
Yeah, that's
minus 40, is that where it is?
So minus
Well-
28 in either side sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
exactly.
saying. Like at minus 25, it don't matter if it's Celsius or Fahrenheit.
It's
You're
Yeah, really.
pretty much really
freaking
cold.
cold.
wow.
It is 81 here right now, just saying.
Oh.
Oh, thanks.
Wait, would you
Marcel-
like me to change that to Celsius?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's 85 here.
Marcel, where are you originally from?
Patrick,
Exactly.
where are you originally from?
Where are you originally from? I'm asking.
Calgary, Canada.
Oh, I thought you were being funny.
No, I'm asking.
Oh.
So, for everybody else on the call, I just want to point out that Marcel is the perfect example that they make
Of an
these
asshole.
things called boxes and you can put your shit in them and fucking leave. Why would you do that to yourself?
Hang on, I just muted Patrick, everyone, so I'm just letting you know.
Thanks. No, I want my husband to hear what he's saying.
Yeah,
Hey, I
he'll
think
get bored of him too.
Yeah, oh yeah, there you go.
My house in New York State is in the minuses at night without the wind. I shudder to think what it is with the wind. It's
Yeah.
gotten friggin' cold there.
Calgary, was it yesterday or the day before? And my house up there is in a place called Canmore, but it was minus 48 or something. Was that yesterday or day before?
42.
Yeah,
Yes, minus 42 with the wind chill, yeah.
Yeah, that's like
That's
crazy. That's crazy.
that's flipping
That's insane.
stupid.
The coldest
nuts.
I was ever in at my house in New York, it was minus 60 with the wind, and the news people were advising us to start our cars every few hours just to make sure that your engines didn't freeze overnight. If
Yeah.
like you needed your, I kept setting my alarm and going and starting the car.
Well, in Canada, they plug them in.
Fucking
They
crazy.
have this thing called a block heater, and it circulates water through the engine, right?
Yeah.
So yesterday I was talking to Kyle, my buddy up in the mountains where I have my house, and he said his car wouldn't even start with the block heater. It was just like, fuck
Oh
you.
my God.
I ain't starting, fuck you.
That's like crazy. Well, we had, I think, 2
Beautiful.
feet of snow up at my house, the last dumping, and snow scheduled for the next, not today, but I think 2 or 3 more days this week. Another foot to 18 inches expected. So the ski resorts are very happy.
They're all closed here. The ski resorts are closed because it's too cold.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
They
What?
never
Wow.
close.
Yeah, they're
Oh.
closed.
I've never
remember-
heard of that.
I was up a few years ago, and decided to go skiing for a couple hours on like New Year's Eve or something, and it was minus, I don't even remember, 30 or something. And I thought, I can take it. I'm just going to go for like 2 hours. And I remember going up the first lift, and I got like one of those Slurpee headaches, you know?
The ice headache.
Yeah, brain freeze. Going up the lift, and I was like, screw this, I'm out of here. It was so cold.
Normally they
It was
only
like
shut them down.
with Dumb and Dumber with the boogers frozen to your face, you know?
Normally just shut them down if the wind is too bad, because it'll swing the chairs into the poles and all that.
I was
Yeah.
just talking.
But
I was
I've
just
never-
talking to a buddy in Aspen. Everyone has to wear head protection now, and people are wearing hard hats to go skiing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I mean, it's an interesting thing. I guess bicycles are the same, but growing up, remarkably, I never wore a helmet, right? I know there's a lot of people here that aren't going to be surprised by that, but
I didn't either.
I didn't wear a helmet to ski, to ride a bike, to do, I mean, for a
No, none of
motorcycle,
that.
you had to
No,
in Canada.
nobody did.
But what got me to wear a helmet skiing was the craziest thing. I took my lawyer up to my house in Canada skiing with me, and he was a really good skier. And he had this really cool helmet. And this is 10 years ago. It had like Bluetooth headphones built into it, or they weren't even Bluetooth. They had a cord, but they were built into the helmet. And I was like, well, that's just cool. I got to have that, right? Because, you know, you're always messing with headphones and stuff when you're skiing. And so that got me to wear a helmet because it was super comfortable. It had warm ear things on it that had headphones in them. I was like, all right, I'll wear that. So I wore it for the headphones. But now that they got Bluetooth, I don't wear a helmet anymore. No, I'm just kidding. I still do.
Marcel, some of us are even old enough to remember when cars didn't have mandatory seatbelts in them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, I do too.
Or the lap belt. The lap belt.
No, they hadn't invented the lap belt yet. This was
Your-
my first
your
car, they
seat
didn't have
belt.
lap
Your seatbelt was your mother's arm reaching out to keep you into the seat.
belts. Pretty
Yeah.
much.
What, you're not supposed to
Pretty
do that?
Huh?
You're-
My mom.
So I had to drive my son somewhere today, and we pulled into the parking lot. He goes, Dad, whoa, what is that? And you know, he's a car junkie. It was like probably a 77 or 78 Trans Am, gold,
Oh,
a gold
Nice.
Trans Am, like probably Vito or Louis or something driving it, Tony with his Trans Am. But I mean, it was nice, but he was like in awe of this car. He probably took 100 pictures of it, and he was like, I've never seen one like that. How much are those? I want to get one of those.
Jeremy's got good taste. That's a nice
Yeah.
car.
Yeah.
he needs to look at a heavy duty then. That was the badass version of that. There's a heavy duty. Yeah, that was a weird
really?
name. But yeah, it
Yeah.
had a motor that it was only in those. And they're very rare and expensive.
Oh.
You're probably all in Dubai
Well,
now.
You had me at rare and expensive. He doesn't want to look at one of those. That's over.
Uh,
So what's news? I don't mean news because we don't want to talk about the news, but what is new? What's going on in your lives?
I'm taking a class today on pandemic on-site protocol training. In fact, I'm going to leave at 6 because I have to finish it tonight.
Wow.
Oh,
It seems
Like
very
COVID
applicable
compliance?
to arenas and other large venues besides meetings.
So you're gonna be a COVID compliance officer?
I already am. I've been one since
Oh, cool.
July.
So I'm positive everyone here listened to my podcast with Marty Hom, but Marty Marty is working with a firm, and I forget the name of the company. I might have mentioned it on a call a couple weeks ago or last week or something. But they have this thing that does 30 or I think you get results in 30 or 45 seconds, test results, and he has been brought in by them as a consultant for arenas or for sports and entertainment, basically. So it's arenas, stadiums, theaters, and they're just waiting for final FDA, which is supposed to happen in the next week or so.
Cool.
And then they're going to start kicking out samples and taking orders, basically. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, did you see Cuomo said that they can start opening up sports arenas and concert venues at the end of this month in New York?
No, they said arenas.
No, he said concert venues too. I'll show you.
No, well, he said no. It's arenas, which
That
could
are
be
concert
concerts.
venues.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like 10% capacity.
10% capacity. They have to get a PCR test 72 hours before.
Baby steps.
Baby steps.
You know what I love about this group is when DeSantis announces it, he's an animal.
No, this is the difference though, Marcel. We're actually doing testing. You're not allowed in unless you get tested.
Thank you, Matt.
The difference with your governor is it's a fucking for all. Did anyone see that Tampa Bay parade? Nobody's wearing a mask. It's
My daughter was there. She was
Super-
freaked out.
super fucking spreader event, guys.
I just love
That's
the
what
fact that this
my
group
daughter
is
said.
so
She goes, she was
positive.
masked and socially distanced, but she goes, nobody's wearing a mask, so there's going to be a bunch of people dead here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
That was the text she sent me.
Well, it's the same thing with the Super Bowl. They said they were showing videos of the parties, and they had like Ybor City was a fucking hedonism. Like,
Nightmare.
Yeah, yeah.
I like
Stadium itself, I understand, was quite safe, and the protocol that the NFL followed was quite safe. It was everything outside the stadium, from what I heard, I wasn't there, that was all, wild horses, wild west. But that's pretty typical.
I mean, what like going back to what David said is what Cuomo said was the tester was the Bills postseason game. And they tested, socially distanced, all that stuff. They had 0 COVID spread. So, I mean, it's exactly what we were talking about back when Germany was doing, the passport thing. Like that's the direction we're going here in New York.
Right.
So if it means we're going to work, it means we're going to work. But this whole pop-up events New York thing, while it sounds cool, it does not benefit any of us. It's only performers. And the performers that they're using are like Matthew Broderick and Sarah Jessica Parker. We're not talking like any Broadway people, any off-Broadway people, none of that. No IATSE work's going to come out of it. It's not like everyone is like, yay, arts are back. It's not back.
David, thank you for attempting to say something positive about our industry.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
if I'm
you
happy
have
or
to go
sad.
through these things to get to the other thing. So what Trump was doing isn't great for the moment, but it's going to help move things along.
Exactly. I just want everyone to know the facts. That's all. I'm not trying to be negative, Patrick.
No.
New York restaurants are opening again on Sunday at limited capacity, correct?
Friday.
Yes, Friday.
Friday
Moved it
now.
up.
It's another nice step in the right direction.
25 I think it's
about the capacities, but
25%, David. Is that what I heard?
Yes, 25.
Yeah, but I've talked to people who don't want to operate at 25%. It's not feasible to open a restaurant at 25%. You got to bring in full staff. You're better off just doing delivery and takeout.
But it's a process. So we go a couple of weeks and it's okay at 25%.
Right.
Then we go to 50, then 75, and then we're out of this thing.
Yeah.
LA just reopened outdoor dining last week.
Yeah.
For the first time in
Amazing.
months.
Amazing.
And numbers are dropping. I mean, for the first time, we're starting to really see them drop.
Yeah.
Are you getting updates? And I'm going to say this, and everybody's going to jump on me, but I'm not saying this facetiously.
Patrick, say it with a gun, and we won't.
Show your face.
Hold on. That's a farther reach than
There he-
normal.
He took you at your word.
All right, here we go.
Oh, no.
No, in all seriousness, throughout the pandemic, every day here in Nevada, we would get a notification on our phones with an update of the COVID numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I have not gotten one since January 20th.
We're getting them here in New York. I get them on the Citizens app, and Cuomo tweets every day. So
ours from the governor stopped.
Interesting.
Remarkably, there's politics attached to this
It
thing.
really,
It's unbelievable.
Could you at least swung it a few days? I don't know. It just is really bizarre that on the day of the inauguration, all the news shifted and we start losing the things that are about our health numbers.
But that's,
Patrick, if you go to the Las Vegas Review Journal and ask to get updates, you'll get the news every day about how many illnesses and deaths there are.
Oh, I know there's places I can go to get the information, but I never signed up for these fucking numbers. But they just started pushing it to my phone every day throughout the pandemic.
Right.
And
you have
thankfully they stopped spamming me, but
do you have Citizens, Patrick?
We got a lot of citizens here.
No, it's that app.
Maybe I don't think it works out here.
We have what's called COVID Trace.
Yeah. Oh, is that we have an app. Ironically enough, though, with COVID Trace, it was really messed up. One of my programmers had COVID on a project we were working on, and he came back to Vegas for his quarantine and tried to announce to that app that he got it. He was basically reporting himself to the app for contract tracing, and they would not allow him to put himself in the system. He called them up and they basically said, unless you're an organization, we don't report you into the app. So basically, you didn't work for.
So it's got to come from a hospital or something?
Huh?
It's got to come from a hospital or something like that?
No, basically, if you didn't work for a casino or like a major organization here in the Las Vegas area, they weren't putting you in the numbers. And he was blown away by that. He's like, I don't understand. Like, it completely skews everything. We're not allowed to tell people that like this is supposed to be for our health and the health of everybody else. It was very strange.
But kind of like you're just one spy. You have to have a network program to listen to you. Good heavens. It's terrible.
Yep. So what else? Anything outside of that? I actually had a weird dream last night about the wind. Patrick,
the wind,
speaking
as
of,
in I'm blowing in the wind.
Wind.
No, the wind.
Wind.
W-I-N.
W-Y-N-N.
Yeah. And so the weird thing is, so I had this dream, and it was like some of those early videos that you used to do, Patrick, where you rode your bike through the city and it was a ghost town. And so I was walking through the wind and going behind the counter, checking myself in and walking through the showrooms, pick up a guitar, play it for a little bit. And I was like all by myself, like a Will Smith movie or something, walking through this hotel, just playing with everything, grabbing things or whatever. So then somebody calls me this morning and says, I'm so excited. And I said, why? And he said, because we're actually doing a demo at the Wynn right now for like real lighting and stuff. And I went, wow, that's cool. So I mean, it was just weird that I had this dream, and then this morning he tells me that he's doing a demo at the Wynn. So
maybe you're clairvoyant.
There are some things going on. We had a demo on Friday. I was with Mark doing a demo on Friday, which was cool. It was
nice. That's cool. Yeah, I know you guys were like sending me rude comments over text or something. I don't remember. You guys were teaming up and beating up on me. Shocking.
Never do that.
Why?
Yeah. Peter Morse, hello.
So did anybody get Michael Strickland's email today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do y'all think about that? Or do we not talk about that on this?
You asked if we got it, not if we read it. I stopped reading them about 3 weeks ago. I got to be honest. No, I'm kidding. No, what do you think about it, Lynn?
I think it's pretty complicated. I've done a few things around town here for it, and it's not exactly receiving like, yes, let's do this, Lynn. It's kind of quiet.
What is the gist of it? I have to admit, I have not. It's in my list of emails today. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's about the Cove Aid.
It's basically keep trying to reach out to people to get them to use us. And I'm like, I've already reached out to everybody I can reach out to. I've run out.
Here's the problem. And I've talked to Michael about this. I've talked to Brad about this. I've talked to everyone. So Michael launches something to the world and says, we're doing this. And then he comes to us and goes, can we do this? And there's no system, there's no structure, there's no, we kind of have the cart in front of the horse, and we've got, you know, we've got supply but no demand, and all of these things going on. And I'm like really OCD when it comes to this stuff. So I even had to remove myself from the process because it was driving me crazy, you know, because there just wasn't enough structure to it yet. From what I understand, it's getting really, really close though, and a lot of really powerful people are involved. And you know, I know Brad's all over it. So if anyone's part of We Make Events and you know, has Brad's contact information, he's been working really hard to get it up to speed. But yeah,
I know in LA, Tim Burke, I don't know, Tim, lighting designer guy, but he wound up being used as a project manager to put together a vaccination center in some parking structure in LA, and they were so blown away by how they did it. You know, he brought in some rock and roll people and that to help, that I think they just got, the company was working through, production company was working through, I'm not sure who it was, just got contracted to do 11 more.
Oh, that's kick-ass.
Cool. Yeah. So hopefully it's getting some traction and moving ahead with this. I don't know if it came through that or not, but
I believe in it completely, and I think it's going to work. I just think it needed to be baked a little longer before being served, if you know what I mean. So, you know, that's all. It's complicated in its sort of lack of organization, which is what you're seeing, Lynn.
I'd like to know where the baking zone is, where the oven is right now, and I'd like to offer my services so I could, you know, see how much progress is going on, see where there's stuff.
Diana, there's a New York regional manager. It's not Kelly. Get with me offline, and I can tell you who to talk to.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Also, are we having a board meeting anytime soon?
You have to ask Brad.
You're bored right now.
We are having a board meeting.
But,
did I miss the part where we talked about the Super Bowl?
We haven't done that yet.
Yeah, no.
We haven't done that yet. Wait, before we go into the creative aspects of it, which I thought were relatively incredible. What about The Weeknd? Do we like The Weeknd or do we not like The Weeknd? First of all, it's a silly name, I think.
It's not even
spelled.
Oh, right.
Misspelled.
Mr. Weekend or Mr. The Weeknd, or how do you?
The Weeknd.
I want to know how his parents feel about that. Really, I don't think they named him The or Weekend, and they certainly
well, he's Canadian.
Show him how to
he's
spell
Canadian,
like that.
So
his real name is Abel Tesfaye.
Really?
I'm sorry. Really? That's
no wonder we went with Weekend.
Yeah, no.
Really, his parents didn't like it to begin with.
I think he made a good choice. You know, it's funny. I have a similar story. I have a similar story when Prince was playing at, he opened the Glam Slam Club in Miami Beach, and I supplied a bunch of lighting and stuff to it. So I think it was the day before the opening day. I had lunch with Prince, and I think it was his manager and the LD who I was working with on the club and stuff. So before we walked into the lunch, I said to, I think it was his manager, I said, what do I call him? Because this was right after he had changed his name to the symbol, right?
The symbol.
And I said, what do I call him? And he said, what do you mean? And I said, well, when I'm saying hello, what do I say? And he says, you don't. I said, well, what do you mean I don't? And he said, you just don't. And I said, but what if I have to say, hey, pass the salt? He goes, just ask someone else instead. And I said, but this is so complicated. And he said, you just don't address them. And I'm like, well, that's kind of weird. Like, what if I want to say hi? You know, and he says, just don't do that. Don't put yourself in that situation. And I'm like, how do you guys survive this? And he goes, we don't. It's very difficult.
That was like on MTV when that was going on. When they'd introduce one of his records, they used a gong. It would be bong instead of saying his name. That's how you knew it was a Prince video coming up.
That's pretty funny.
Well, we did when I was with Robert Isabel in New York, we did a big party for him again when he was using that name, and we just used to call him the artist formerly called Prince. And it's a very long thing, but that was kind of what you had to say.
Well, yeah, that's how they introduced him on award shows and stuff too. Was the artist formerly known as Prince?
And then for a short span of time, he became the artist.
Very
Yeah.
similar situation for me when we were at Roseland Ballroom. I mean, trying to get through rehearsal, and what do you call this man?
Yeah.
It
So
used to be a
Really
challenge
weird.
for us trying to label the road cases at Light and Sound Design. I
yeah,
think we probably need stickers and just put them on.
that's pretty funny.
Yeah, bring that
That's
case
pretty
with no label on it.
Yeah. Well, imagine being
Wonder
his
if-
record company. I mean, you get that memo one morning and you're like, what the fuck? What do you
Well,
mean?
yeah,
I
but
gotta
that's what it was all about, right? He was
Yeah.
wasn't he having
Well,
a
he
problem
was
with his
flipping the
record
bird.
company?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they owned his name.
No, but
Patrick
his
Woodruff had a
publisher. Imagine being his
fantastic-
publisher, or whatever. Like anyone who has to try and communicate him or communicate with him, it's just got to be complicated. But back to the weekend. So, I like, maybe I'm old, which I am, but I remember like the Stones and Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney and massive artists doing the halftime show. And now because it's pay to play, like I read that he paid $7 million to do the halftime show.
He did?
Which he
Yeah.
paid $7 million
That's
to play
true.
the
That's
halftime
true,
show.
Well, I heard it was 8. So that's
Yeah, I read the article this morning and it said
When did
7.
that change?
7's the number I had heard.
Yeah.
too.
Well, I don't think they ever really got paid. Maybe they did in the early days or whatever, but I think the NFL obviously realized how much of a promotional machine it was for some of these really hot up and coming, especially like, Bruno Mars just
so good.
skyrocketed after the Super Bowl halftime show. But I don't know. Like, I mean, for me, I really enjoyed seeing like the biggest acts in the world. And I don't know, maybe I'm just old and maybe he is the biggest act in the world and I just don't know it.
He's not.
No, Marcel, I'm trying to
He's
figure
big though.
out,
Yeah.
Gary, what they're talking about. I mean, are we that far away? What the fuck? I'm about to look it up on a phone here, right? Under the screen, like when nobody's.
Do you know who The Weeknd is, Steve?
No.
He did that song. What is it? I Can't Feel My Face or whatever.
I can't feel my face when I'm with you.
Yeah, Gary played it to me when we were in his car. Absolutely. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, I can't feel my face.
New song, and we were talking about him a month ago or 2 months ago when the MTV Awards were happening, and he had that really fantastic performance on the ledge in New York with the helicopter going around. I mean, it was
right.
Also, Sooner on the Starboy tour, which was 3 years ago, did the lighting design for that.
Yeah, she did the lights as Devlin did the production design on it.
Yeah.
Really
I will tell you though, I mean, the guy sang, and that was impressive. He didn't lip sync, he actually sang, and so rarely that happens on these shows.
Right.
So that was cool. But
I will say the memes are amazing from the Super Bowl.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You should look up. He did a performance this past year on the Colbert Show. I think it was just before the pandemic hit. That is fantastic.
Who? The Weeknd?
Weekend.
Oh.
He did a recreation of the backstage hallways of the Letterman Theater, and did a full motion gag where they were moving the hallways around. So it looks like he's running through these hallways with a lot of different stuff happening and popping up in different areas. And it was seamlessly shot. It's really, really cool. If you just do a Google search for it, you'll see it. It was one of the most creative TV performances I've seen in a long time.
Does anyone know how he did that backstage? Was that a Steadicam? Was that a dancer with the Steadicam with all
There was a camera attached to him via a special rig.
Okay, that was cool.
I remember when Peter Gabriel did that. I forget, it was like an early tour, like the Us tour or something, where he had a camera that was on like a long, like a selfie stick way in front of him, like 6 feet in front of him. God, what it was the song with the
gag.
Yeah.
Timberlake did it for the Grammys about
true. No, I mean, I thought the show was pretty cool. I didn't understand the whole weird mask thing. Like, does anyone know what that meant?
It's supposed he had nose surgery, So it's supposed to be a spin on that and incorporating masks for
Did
COVID.
a bit of a
Or
marketing
where we're at.
stunt.
Upon first glance, I thought these guys all had jock straps over their
They
heads.
did look like jock straps.
They put their underwear on backwards.
Yeah, it's kind of what it looked like on first glance.
You walked the red carpet of something months ago.
Yes.
With being all bandaged up, and then proceeded to show up in a few locations in full prosthetic makeup to make it look as though why he was wrapped up was that he had full head reconstructive surgery to look like this exaggerated Kardashian freak.
Yeah.
Set the internet on fire.
Yeah, my friend was like, what did he do to his nose?
About, what, did he really do that? And as he had full reconstructive surgery, it was pretty wild.
Patrick, you're really informative, like TMZ,
Yeah, really. I'm impressed.
Patrick actually looks.
Or you're
like
just a
he
huge,
has his
or you're a
fucking
huge
shirt
Weekend
off.
fan. Huge Weekend fan. Yeah, I could tell from your open shirt.
Yeah, Patrick, button your shirt up, bro.
Listen to him all the time.
Oh, stop. Leave him have his shirt open.
Not in here today.
Some of us
Jesus,
appreciate it.
Yeah, the women's vote.
I wouldn't expect you to appreciate it, Marcia, but
Sorry?
I wouldn't expect you to appreciate it.
So will wonders never cease, Matt?
There you
It's only because I got man boobs now.
Wow.
I'm not going to go there, Patrick.
There you go.
We could retrofit a jock strap to be like some training bras for you.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting fit. Hey, Patrick,
Yeah.
say hi to Dee for me.
I will. She should be here any moment.
Good. My favorite granola gal.
So Gumper's face, filter thing is leading me to be concerned. Like, did you also get reconstructive surgery?
I felt he was
This
wrapped
is
up all
just-
last week.
This is hiding a lot of I
was
haven't
expecting
shaved
you
in a
to
couple
do the
weeks.
cat one.
Did you see that attorney clip that was on the news yesterday where
Oh, buddy, yes.
he had a cat filter on trying to talk to a judge, didn't realize he had it on, and the judge is trying to talk him through how to take the filter off.
And then he didn't know how to take
Like,
it
And
off.
then he didn't
swear
know.
I'm not a cat.
Yeah, that was funny. It's like, you think?
Hey, Gumper, have you figured out how to like stick out a long tongue and big dog tongue?
I got to work on all that.
The mechanics of it all.
Speaking of which, maybe Marcel, since you've been using Zoom so much throughout the pandemic, you might be able to explain this because I didn't know this existed. I was in a legal mediation last week, and we're dealing with a judge doing mediation between the parties with a lot of people involved, and we used Zoom, and he was able to do breakout rooms.
Yeah, I can do that right now.
I hadn't seen that. That was pretty
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah, you can set up all kinds of rooms. I've done it. The problem is it gets really complicated depending on how many people you have and stuff like that. It gets really complicated on managing all the rooms and stuff. But typically what you do is you put like heads of rooms. Mediation, I've done mediations like that too recently. And so somebody's in charge of that room and they control who can come in or go out of the room or whatever. And then everybody can get together back into one room as well.
Yeah.
And it's cool. It's a cool function. It's
was
just, I
really
haven't
great
found a real need for it.
Yeah,
I have
particularly for that, it was great.
Yeah. I have a friend, one of our web developers did his 40th birthday party on Zoom. And it was like a crazy thing where he had different DJs in every room. He had like 5 or 6 friends who were relatively semi-famous DJs. And so one was a chill room, one was a whatever, I don't know all these fancy music names, but they were all different rooms. And then there was like a dress up room and there was a whatever room. So he had, I don't know, he had like 300 people or something at his birthday party and he had 6 or 7 rooms going on.
That's really cool.
And yeah, it was really, really super cool. Oh, Peter shared the Colbert thing.
Nice.
Thanks, Peter.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
Hey, Peter, I heard a story the other day. So
My meal kit delivery
who was I
entered the
talking to?
vegetarian box, and the meals that I received were the salsa verde enchiladas.
What the hell just happened? Was that me?
And the Mediterranean baked veggies, which you guys are gonna watch me make right now.
What the hell is going on?
Somebody's watching YouTube.
Oh, somebody's watching YouTube. I get it. So Peter, I was talking with Huddleston the other day, and he was talking about starting to get back into flying, right? And I said, I got to connect you with a racing friend of mine who's a very wealthy Indian guy who just moved from New York to Wisconsin. And I said, he's flying gliders now, like a lot. And he goes, oh yeah, I don't want to fly gliders. And I said, why? And he said, because Peter crashed one.
Oh yeah, true. Oh yeah, I remember that.
What's that story?
Well, I was, oh God, it was like 25 years ago. I was learning to fly sailplanes, and I was on a long run in Vegas. And to kill time during the days, I was going into Boulder City to take lessons, you know, and I'd already been soloing for quite a bit, and they asked me if I wanted to take up this Blahnik, which was a Swiss-made high performance glider. And it's a single passenger, single seat. So you just get some ground instruction and you go up in it. And I was flying around having a great time. And I came down, he said, now we're gonna teach you how to land in a quartering tailwind. Well, you don't normally land in a quartering tailwind. Normally you land into the wind. And this particular day, the way the runway was set up, the wind was coming basically on our tail, which meant we had no control of our speed on entry. So they walked me through it. They went up with me in a trainer. Then I got back in the Blahnik, and I was coming in on approach. And right about the time I should have been grinding to a halt, I was still about 20 feet off the ground, going about 40, 50 miles an hour. And looming ahead was a chain link fence that separated the end of the active from a Safeway parking lot. So I decided to pull up just a little bit on the nose and get over the chain link and landed in the parking lot and knocked both wings off, but I was fine.
Oh my goodness.
I know exactly where you landed.
Yeah.
That parking lot. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
And NTSB was out there. I was suspended for a while, you know, and all that.
I thought you were going to say, I know exactly where you landed. I want $1,000 for the damage you did to my car. Your wing broke my mirror.
Yeah. Fortunately, it was early enough in the day that I was, you know, a large open area to land in. So
I would imagine like a glider to me, is it all about planning when you got to land because you're going to run out of air or?
Well, you know, there's ways to gain altitude and all that, you know, you learn where your thermals are. And in Vegas, there's tons of that. Or waves soaring off the side of hillsides or mountains. And if you plan ahead, you're fine, you know.
Yeah.
You just go up, or if you stay, you know, I never did cross country. I never went that far with it, but I always stayed within sight of the strip. So I always knew I had a wait.
One time, Mark Rollins, I don't know if anyone here knows Mark Rollins. Some of you probably do, from Towards 2000, who's out of our business now, but still around.
That's a long time ago.
When Mark started getting really big into helicopters, one year at LDI, he brought a helicopter to Vegas, and I ran into him on the show floor, and he said, "You want to go up?" And I said, "Yeah, hell yeah." And this was pre 9/11, so you could fly wherever the hell you wanted, basically, which is kind of crazy. I mean, 9/11 kind of smacked us in the face and smartened us up a little bit, but so we flew like over the Luxor and sat in those 7K xenon beams. And, you know, that was crazy. It was like you flew into the sun, basically. It was at night. And then we went around the stratosphere and we were like waving at people that were going on the roller coaster and stuff at the stratosphere. And just everything. I mean, you could go wherever you wanted to go. There was no restriction. So it was pretty fun.
Not like that anymore.
No.
That's why there's rules now.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, it kind of smartened us up a bit.
There were rules then too, except no one enforced them as like they
Yeah, there were rules then.
It's more like a guideline.
Yeah, a suggestion. I remember
There
one
just
time.
were no teeth to fight you.
Yeah. One time in Vegas, I rented a car and with my ex-wife. I went to I don't know, Hoover Dam or something, and I was going like, I don't know what the speed limit is out there, but let's say it's 55. I was going like 95, and so I get pulled over by a cop, and he's in his car for a while, and I'm like, this is going to be painful, like, you know, because I'm going 40 miles over the speed limit. This is going to be really bad, you know, like you might have to bail me out kind of bad. So he comes back to my my window and he hands me this ticket and he goes, here you go, sir. I've written you a $45 waste of resources fine. You know, try and slow it down a bit, will you? Waste of resources. You're using too much gas because you're driving really fast. And so I said it to the person at the hotel. I'm like, why did I get a $45 waste of resources ticket instead of a $300 speeding ticket or whatever? And he said, yeah, our police don't like to piss off the tourists very much, you know? So if all you're doing is speeding, give him a slap on the wrist.
If you'd been driving a Tesla, he would have given you a ticket.
Yeah. This was pre-Tesla. This was probably in the mid 90s or something.
In Austria, I parked in a multi-story car park, and I didn't realize that actually you have to drive in forward. You can't reverse in. So I just reversed in and went to my hotel and came out the next day, and I had a ticket because I didn't drive in the right way into the parking lot, into your little space.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a restaurant here called Benny's on the Beach, and there's a like a county parking lot or whatever in front of it. And I've gotten a ticket there twice for backing in because I have a pickup truck. I have an F-150, and they're just easier to back into these tight spots than they are to pull straight in. So I always back in and I don't think of it, but there's a big sign that says do not back in. And so I've gotten it twice. So I'm a real asshole.
They want to see your license plate. And
because you're in a state where you're not
only
required to
have
have
one.
it on both ends. Got it.
Yeah, so you know everything's the ticketing machines to get your parking thing for $3 an hour or whatever it is, they are all based on your tag. You don't put a ticket in the window or anything. It's all based on your tag.
Backed in, but you had a plate on both sides.
No, only
No, not Florida.
Yeah,
only has
I think
the
they
plate
still know.
back.
Yeah.
So essentially, when you get your plates, they only send you one.
Yes,
Yeah,
in New York, you get a plate for the front and one for the back. In Florida, we only get one on the back.
No, but what
whatever you
Diana's
want
saying
on the front or none.
But what she's saying is, if you had two plates, would you still get the ticket? And
No,
I
because the
believe
whole
so.
point of the exercise is so that they can
Yeah.
read the plate, and the guy reading the plate doesn't have to walk around the car to see if you're legal or not, because it's
I
all
guarantee
digital.
you they'll still give you a ticket because they can, because it says don't back in. It doesn't say we got to see your plate. It says don't back in, right? So
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm saying the reason for them saying that is so that whoever it is who's checking the plates
Got
of
it.
the people who are parked is not
Got it.
inconvenienced and having to circle around every other car.
Yeah, I don't even know how you would go about getting a second plate from a state that normally just gives you one.
You wouldn't, Diane. It's
actually,
just
no,
that
actually,
this is
Florida, you can. There's a little box
Okay.
you can check if you want two plates.
Really?
Yeah, you
Wow.
can. You can order two plates.
We don't have them here either. and-
I never knew that. In New
I
York,
thought
there was
that
never
that
any
was-
choice. You had to have two plates on your car. It wasn't like an option.
It's a lack of trust in New York.
Yeah, that's it. That's what it is.
When I had
In Nevada, you get two plates, but if your car, a lot of cars now don't have a place for the front plate, then you don't have to put it in. But I thought that backing in thing was because when you back in, your exhaust pipe's against the wall and you leave nasty marks in that from the.
There's no walls.
Oh, okay. That's what I had heard here.
It's full on because you can see the plate. That's what it's for here, is so you can see the plate. But yeah.
Silly.
Anyways.
I know when
Yeah.
I had to get my Florida driver's license and re-register my Mustang from New York to Florida, and I had to give up my plates, my little country motor vehicle, my little lady who I've been like registering with for 20 some years was like, can I keep one of the plates as for my own to remember by? So she let me keep the second plate. She was very sweet. I only had to turn back one.
Jeez.
Claudette, your lighting when you lean forward is very.
You know, there's a really bright sunbeam hitting me.
Yeah,
right
it's
in the
very
face.
it's very like detective kind of vibe going on.
Actually, kind of nice. I like it, man.
Yeah.
Good.
Bye, Mark.
Bye, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Bye, Mark.
Bye, Mark. Bye, Mark.
Bye, Mark.
Oh, Mark didn't say bye.
So, I apologize for not being around last week, guys. I
Yeah,
was dealing
you
with
dick.
Shut up. I was dealing with piriformis syndrome mixed with SI joint dysfunction.
That sounds fun. I had that once.
That doesn't
I had
Means
that
his
once.
ass
A little
hurts. His
ketchup is good.
piriformis is in his ass.
No,
so
it
his
was way
ass
worse.
was dirty.
So since like Thanksgiving, my
sitting on
right
his ass.
leg. So since Thanksgiving, I've been getting leg pains in my right leg, and it's been getting worse and worse. And it got to the point where I couldn't stand for more than a minute without my leg being on fire. And last Wednesday, I telemedicine after going to PT for a while. And basically the doctor was like, all right, it sounds like you have SI joint dysfunction. I'm going to put you on steroids and take 2 Aleve every 6 hours and 2 Tylenol every 8 hours. And as soon as I did that, that Wednesday night, I was bending over to pick something up off the floor and I heard a pop. And my whole leg went on fire and I passed out from the pain. And an hour later, I woke up and there was no pain. So
Your life is
I
awesome.
knocked my joint back into place.
Jesus, that's insane.
Wasn't it last week we were all talking about ailments and getting old?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is I haven't done anything. I blame this all on the fact I'm not
Were you
working.
just like laying on the floor, drooling in pain?
I literally had to, I couldn't stand up. I had to like this to my couch. And I crawled on my couch and put a heating pad on it, passed out from the pain, and an hour later woke up and I was pain-free.
You should have called Claudette. Her husband could talk you through how to get around without legs because he's done it for the last month and a half or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Like
been
a regular Conor McGregor.
Yeah,
Man,
no,
he got
it was
his ass
worse.
kicked.
Yeah, he did.
He got beat bad. What's her name? The really nice looking UFC fighter who was on Dancing with the Stars.
Ronda Rousey?
No, she's not really nice looking and she wasn't on Dancing with the Stars.
Is it?
The really nice blonde California girl.
Kate Van Zandt.
No. Yeah, Van Zandt. It's not Kate though.
Paige Van Zandt.
Paige Van Zandt. Yeah, you're right. She went into bare knuckle fighting because UFC dropped her. And she went into bare knuckle fighting and got her ass kicked in her first fight. So I don't know how long her fighting career is going to go on. It's so weird that girls want to do bare knuckle fighting. Like UFC is bad enough for.
Why is that weird?
See you later, Steve. Or Caroline.
Diana, I'm very
Marcel,
scared.
I'm with you. It scares the
Why is
shit
that
out
weird?
of me.
I often have the urge to hit people with my bare knuckles.
But the
You
problem
just
is
keep
you
doing
get
it,
hit
and there are
back.
things that come up all the time.
Not if you're fast.
Not if you're fast. Oh my god.
No, you refresh.
I
And they
see
advise
more.
doing it every few minutes. You can also
Yeah, the
if
kick-ass
you're-
console.
Bye. Take care. Oh.
Yeah. So what just happened? Steve ditched
Steve
us.
left.
How's next round of PPP?
Nook. Nothing. Has anyone got PPP yet?
No.
Patrick's nodding yes.
Yeah, we got ours.
Oh, you did? What the hell, man?
Yeah, we got that, and we also got a Nevada arts grant as well, which was pretty good.
Damn.
I'm reaching out to the SBA to see if I can get the other
Hang
$9,000,
on.
the supposed $10,000 grant we were supposed to get. See how
That'd
that
be good.
goes. They sent me an email saying we're sending your bill to SBA remittance. So now I got to start paying back my EIDL loan in the middle of a pandemic.
Oh,
Well,
my
that was part of
goodness.
the EIDL deal, wasn't it?
I thought it was a year after the pandemic ends.
That was the PPP, but EIDL was different. as I understand it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do.
You can
I'm
use
dealing
your
with
It's a year
PPP.
from the
to
issue
pay off
date.
your EDIL.
Did we not discuss any of the
Isn't that
fucking
called kiting?
beginning of this?
Chris, isn't that called kiting?
Yep.
If you use PPP to pay off the EIDL? I think that's probably.
I mean, it's only
frowned upon.
$67 a month, but I'm,
But no income is hard to pay $67 a month.
Yeah.
Really?
You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna be like, sure, we'll give you the 9,000, and that can just go to paying off the EIDL loan. That's probably
Just
what
call
they're
them
gonna
up and say, "Do you know how much weed costs in New York City right now?" Like, you got to give me one or the other. Give me my work back or give me weed, but you can't cut it all off.
It sounds like the same economic properties as a hedge fund, so you're fine.
Yeah.
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 I mean, that's what the hedge funds do is they borrow from the bank
Exactly.
and then buy treasuries. Then they buy treasuries with the money that they borrowed from the government. So they borrowed at 1% and then buy treasuries and get 1.25%, make 2.5% to put in their pocket.
To be fair, if you guys are looking to invest, I would start investing in these cannabis stocks. They're like shooting up right now.
Isn't that the worst time to buy something when it's shooting up?
Well, I mean, like Sundial Growers is like $2 right now. It's up from 47 cents. So
Just be careful they're not pennies, what they call penny stocks, because penny stocks.
I want to throw out a disclaimer right now that I completely forbid any stock advice from Matt Gaminsky or anyone else on this call, and I don't take any responsibility for any stock advice that's happening.
Yeah, I mean, this is for entertainment. This is for entertainment
purposes only. Yeah, I don't want anybody suing me because Matt Gaminsky told them to buy a stock and they lost their ass.
No, I'm just saying. No, I mean, it is what it is.
He does great horoscopes, though.
David.
David, is there any rumors of a theater opening or anything?
No.
Did you see the Cuomo's thing today? Did you guys talk about that?
Yeah, we talked
Yeah,
about
the
that,
pop-up, yeah, but no, not. They're still all saying September.
Really?
Yeah.
And do you believe in September?
Yeah, I kind of do. End of September.
Yeah, that's good.
And what that means is people will be back to work earlier because they have to completely re-tech all the equipment.
But David, when you say
theaters.
September, do you mean like Broadway's fully open in September, or just
Well, probably
of
not
a
fully
couple?
open. I think they'll start to open in September.
All right.
A friend of
Yeah, but
mine is
you
a
hearing,
costume
like-
designer. Says the biggest problem is they're going to have to let all the costumes out because everyone will have gained 15 pounds during it.
That's probably true, or lost. I mean, I know just as many people who lost 15 pounds as gained. I know a lot of people. I had Jake Berry on my podcast this week, and he said he lost a whole bunch of weight. He's been riding his bike like 30 miles a day or something, and
About time.
yeah,
I'm down 25.
Good for you. I'm down 15 as well.
Who
I
said
think
that?
it's not eating out for me. We don't eat
Oh,
out.
you're down 25 pounds, Matt?
Mhm.
Wow, good for you, man.
Because I'm
That's
not
really
eating
good.
after show food at 11:45 at night and then guzzling beer and going to bed.
And you can't afford weed.
No, I got that.
And you can't afford weed, so that helps.
I guess that explains why I've gained the 20 pounds that he lost.
Because she can still afford weed because it's cheaper in Florida. See, this is just the economy of how things work.
I have some very generous friends.
There you go. There you go.
I'd like to lose the 20 pounds. If anybody wants it, let me know.
Apparently, Nook can still afford weed.
That's my man.
He's in the basement.
All righty, Nook.
You gotta turn on your
This is why
mic.
this is why my wife works at the pot dispensary.
So how does that work? Do you get a discount, or does she get free samples, or when it's over a due date or something?
We
Eat
get a constant discount.
You get a discount?
We get a constant discount. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We're always discounted. We're employees.
Wait, so Chris, is it a medicinal? She works at a strictly medicinal because recreational hasn't opened yet, right?
Correct. correct. Her facility is the medical facility, but they still have hundreds of patients a day. The line goes out the door and down the street.
So what's your ailment then, Chris?
I have sciatica and diabetes.
He has piriformis syndrome.
Yeah. Yeah. I have Pink Floyditis.
Pink Floyditis.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So yeah, we're always experimenting with the new, whatever the new thing is that they got there that she's got to try.
Hey, Chris, I'd be happy to experiment too.
Well, come out to Jersey. We experiment in Jersey.
Okay.
Sounds kinky.
Chris,
smoked meat.
is that the background of your house that you're green screening in and out of? Is that what your backyard looks like now? Pretty, very pretty.
I'm in the car now. The car's driving. So.
Hey, Chris, I have a suggestion. Your Instagram photos of food, when you're making it and saying, I have this and my kids are having that, I think you should have a link in your profile to the recipe for that food every day, because I will tell you, occasionally your food looks pretty damn edible.
Is that a left-handed compliment, Marcel?
I'm a left-handed person.
Oh, okay.
That explains a lot.
I'm a left-handed person.
Sometimes I do put the recipe in there if it's a quick one, if it's easy, but you know, usually like today I didn't even have time for lunch. I was doing quotes all morning. It's getting busy.
That's good.
So,
hey.
Nice.
What's getting busy?
Big possible fashion show in a couple weeks. Couple new TV shows. Possibly doing a big UVC install at a venue to sterilize, basically to set up a sterilization system for all the seating. That'll, you know, you basically turn it on for 3 hours and the whole place is sterilized.
That's cool.
So.
Yeah, I'm hearing. I don't think anybody's here from Orlando still, but I'm hearing that Orlando is starting to book a lot more convention business right now.
That'd be great.
And I think it's smaller stuff right now, like a lot of ballroom stuff, not necessarily the convention center, which I don't know. Maybe the convention center is doing stuff too, but I'm hearing a lot more convention business is being booked in Orlando now. So I don't know.
We had a
For
thing
when
with,
though?
Je ne sais, the vertical health products thing, and it was limited audience. It was a webcast, but
yeah,
we've done 2 of those.
Oh, that's good.
We're doing lots of webcasts. Marcel, when are they booking these for soon or in the fall or
no,
when?
near term, like soon, like Q1, Q2 kind of stuff.
Oh, really?
Well,
yeah.
Q1's halfway over, so.
No, but I mean, I'm hearing there's things going on now in Orlando, like convention, conference kind of stuff. So, and I know, but I know some people who have been to events in Orlando, like in-person conferences in Orlando recently.
We did a huge church event in Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Ohio's funny. Like when I went to Mid-Ohio, I think it was July or August last year for a race. You know, this was rural Mid-Ohio, and nobody was wearing masks. Like nobody. Like even I was uncomfortable walking into places. Like I walked into a Mexican restaurant and people were just like crowded together, and it was completely packed and not a single mask in the place. Staff or I was going to say patients, but I meant customers. And I mean, honestly, I even felt uncomfortable going into these places. Not that I'm immune to any of this stuff, but
potential.
So, Ohio just seems like potential security issue detected. What is that? What are you sending us?
See ya.
About Ohio.
Oh, it's about Ohio?
Yes.
But what is that file, HEIC? I've never even heard of that.
It's what it rips it down to. It's one of the ones it sends as. It's not a virus, I swear.
So if I download this, I'm not going to get like child porn on my computer and get arrested in 10 minutes. Is this a joke?
Not again.
Just gonna get
Not
a
again.
week.
Not again. Yeah, I just got over that one. Oh, I see. One of those.
Y'all are talking about Ohio.
Why are we getting a security warning?
Oh my God.
To download this.
Double click on it for God's sakes.
It's fine.
Open the goddamn thing.
Yeah, Marcia, I'm going to send you a virus.
Hey, I'm just telling you what my computer's talking to me about, telling me about.
Computer's bullshit.
I beg your pardon.
This is Matt's condom speak.
Coming from the guy who said weed's a good investment.
Well, clearly my
is a good investment.
My computer is not letting me open it, Matt.
Okay.
You'll have to get it.
All right,
to
I'll
you.
text it
I
to you.
can't open a HEIC file, whatever the F
But
that
you
is.
still can't. You still can't invest in weed stock in the U.S., right?
Yes,
Like,
you
I don't
can.
think weed companies
Yes,
can
you
go
can.
public in the U.S. Can
Yes.
Yes,
Uh,
you can.
Not
Oh.
public. I think they're penny stocks, and they
No,
can be
but
very
penny stocks
dodgy.
are
there
public.
isn't.
They
There's
follow
a-
the same rules.
No, there
No, I
isn't.
don't think
There's-
U.S. companies cannot go public in the weed business, as far as I
Well,
understand.
They absolutely are, because there's a bunch.
Really?
They're actually companies that manufacture stuff for the weed people. Yeah.
No, I
but
understand their
none of the-
stocks, but aren't all of them Canadian?
Just a second here. Sorry.
They're all green.
They're manufacturers that make
But-
stuff like, grow lights and other things.
Oh,
for,
right. Yeah, that you
Food
can do. But in
Or
Canada,
they're-
you can actually invest in growers in Canada.
Yes.
In,
these are
because I have
growers.
a friend who's founded many of these companies, and he's a billionaire.
Yeah,
a
these are-
Canadian guy.
These are growers, and there's a ETF, which is THCX, which invests in all of them. So if you
Right, but you can't invest in a marijuana company in the U.S. No, because it's not federally legal yet.
Right.
I understand what you're saying, Matt, but are those U.S. companies or Canadian companies?
stand by, I'm Googling right now.
Yeah,
What is-
because the thing is, you can
Consulting
invest.
Dr. Google. Consulting Dr. Google.
No, but you can invest in those companies, but
Oh.
those companies can't go public in the U.S.
Yeah, so the one
They
I'm
can't even get
invested in
bank
is in
accounts.
Calgary.
Yeah, they can't even get
they're all
bank
Canadian
accounts.
companies. They
Yeah.
can't even get bank accounts because federally they're illegal
Exactly.
for now. I mean, that's going to change in a month or two.
That's
I'm sure.
definitely going to change. Yep, Smith Falls, Canada's the other one. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
I want you to
Well,
apologize. I want you to
that's
apologize
federal
right
law.
now, Matt.
That's
I
right, Matt. Apologize.
apologize.
Marcel was correct.
Nanaimo, Canada's the other one. Damn.
Nanaimo is just
Nanaimo.
outside
That's
of
a nice
Vancouver.
place, actually.
I actually, the last time I was in Nanaimo, we played in this theater right by the police station. And at the loading dock, they have one of those it's not like a shipping container. It's like way nicer with a ton of cameras on it. And we were like, what's in there? And they were like, oh, that's where they store all the confiscated weed from the province. And I was like, holy shit.
Right.
So you hooked it up to the back of the truck and pulled it out. Right?
I was like, we're going to stop loadout. I want to dig a hole here. We're going to go about
That's
50
funny.
feet that way.
So
When I was a
Nanaimo-
kid,
Nanaimo is where we used to go to find mushrooms. And so what you would do is you would go into these farmer fields in Nanaimo and you would look for cow shit. And when you find the right kind of dried cow shit, you lift it up and look underneath it. And there's a bunch of magic mushrooms. And you put them all in the plastic bag and you go away, unless you get shot by the farmer. That's the problem. It was definitely
He's like, why are you taking my mushrooms?
They just didn't want you on their property, I guess. But
That's nacho mushrooms.
nacho
when I
mushrooms.
was growing up in North Miami during my junior high school years, so we're talking like 69 to 72. Every now and again, from the sanitation incinerators, they would burn all the pot that they had found and that they had taken off the barges and that they had confiscated it, and it would burn it. And the entire city of Miami smelled like burning weed. It was the funniest thing. You come out.
Guess what? It still does.
Holy shit, it smelled. Yeah, but this was because the city was burning it. Now you just got a lot of.
That's like Yakima, Washington smells like weed, but I think it's because of the hops and the barley that they grow there or something.
No, it's the weed that people are smoking.
It's probably the weed. Yeah.
It's Washington.
Just want to make sure.
I mean, that's why Vegas smells like weed now.
Yeah, my whole building is ridiculous. They have new rules in the CCNRs about odors emanating from the apartments because of when they made marijuana legal. It was just getting over.
What's a CCNR? Condo something?
Honey, what does CCNR stand for?
Google it.
Condo rules and regulations.
No, that would be CRNR.
Condo co-op.
Condo covenant something.
Oh. No, these guys.
Yeah, we don't have co-ops in anywhere but New York.
You just need to put the door jam.
How closely it's followed. My wife, who's on the homeowner association board, has no idea what the actual acronym stands for. So.
That's funny. Hey, has anyone heard the new Foo Fighters? It's friggin' amazing.
No, how is it?
It is so good.
Is it a new album?
So good. Yeah, it's brand new. It's on Apple. I mean, I've been listening to it for a few days. It's so good. It really is good. The very first song on it, he sings with his daughter. I think she sings backup. But you know, the thing is, Foo Fighters, like I was never really a fan until just the last 5 years or so. And it's just
headed to the Hall of Fame.
Is so friggin' cool. He's just
great.
He's such a cool guy, and he really means well and tries to do the right shit and stuff. I just like the guy.
So is it just me, or is it weird for rock and rollers to be performing with their children?
Oh, it's awesome.
It's great.
It's pretty awesome. It is pretty awesome. Like, has anybody
doesn't
seen?
Doesn't that make all the bastard children feel bad though?
They're not all bastard
yeah,
children.
probably.
I don't know. You know, I don't know. I mean, I think, like, I saw Chris Cornell. Chris Cornell after
people, and those kids are like, Dad never took me on stage.
Chris Cornell's daughter has been doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but after he died, she did like some of his songs and stuff, and it's so sad.
She's really
he was my favorite singer in the whole world. But
Well, there's one band on tour right now. They're called the Allman Betts Band. The Sons of the Allman Brothers.
Oh, I've heard of them. Yes.
that's cool.
They're out playing 800 people a night in drive-ins and stuff, and clubs and open areas, and they're just gigging.
There's actually a Christian tour that's going right now, and a buddy of mine is on it. He's it's in arenas, socially distanced. I don't know who this Christian tour is, but they just launched in Nashville like last week. And it's like strict COVID protocol. Like he can't go into catering. He can't go on the tour buses. He flies every morning to the next gig. And like it's strict lockdown. It's pretty interesting. It's a Christian tour. And I'm going to find out.
What's that got to do with people's kids?
No, I'm just saying Nook said there's one tour out right now.
Well, there's other people out. But yeah, that's valid. I read something about that as well. I think Michael Strickland has lights on it, actually.
It might be because it was out of Nashville.
I like the you know, passing the torch down, and the same thing's happening in racing. Like, you know, whenever we go to races, I'll see like I see Emerson Fittipaldi all the time at go-kart races, you know, because his kid Emo Fittipaldi races. His kid, so Emerson, I think, is like 72 years old or something, and his kid's like 12.
Isn't that his grandson? Isn't that his grandson?
No, that's his son. That's his son. He's got kids who are in their like 40s.
Yeah.
And he's got grandkids, but he married like a younger woman, obviously, for his second wife or third. And he's got a kid named Emo from. So I see him all the time. I see Rubens Barrichello all the time. Juan Pablo Montoya I see all the time. So it's the same thing in you know, they're all teaching their kids to race, and it's the same thing in music, and I think that's cool. Like I love when they bring their kid up on stage and sing a song with them or whatever, as long as they're good. Like if they're no good, just come on, what are you doing? I don't know.
I found out the Toby Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Toby Mac, and then the artist he's out with is Torrin Wells. So it's
I don't know who Torrin Wells is, but Toby Mac's big.
Yeah, it's a Christian tour. So
Toby Mac's touring?
Yeah, they're doing arenas.
Oh, wow.
right now.
That's cool. I think it's a matter of minutes until we're back, doing a lot of stuff. I really think like touring is always going to be the difficult one because 12 people on a bus or
I think
11 or 9 or whatever it's going to be.
I'm hearing a lot, like I talked to my production managers and they said they're not hearing anything, or artists that they work for not wanting to do anything until next year.
Well, the whole liability issue is a big deal too with arenas or theaters.
I mean, I think there's going to be one-offs, like bigger shows. Maybe you'll see MSG with like Billy Joel, like doing a couple one-offs there. But I don't think we're going to see any touring until next year.
It's going to be the
Any
same.
like
The
substantial.
logistics are just too weird with states having their own regulations, and playing 3 or 4 or 5 states a week. I mean,
that's the hard part, is putting a tour together. So, I mean, maybe we'll see festivals this summer. Does anyone believe that we'll start seeing some pretty big festivals this summer? I think so.
That'd be pretty scary.
I don't
really.
Yeah, I don't think
so.
General admission stuff is coming up yet.
You don't think so?
No, I think you want at least to have a reserve seat.
Huh?
Didn't something just get delayed to like September, October? Was it like Jazz Fest or something like that?
I don't know.
FOCOM just got moved to October. Sunfest in West Palm was canceled.
Yeah, the Sweetwater Fest in Atlanta was canceled.
Well, that's just friggin' awesome. Jesus Christ.
I think they're going to push all the
Marcel
lighting.
only likes good news, people.
What's that, Nook?
I think they're going to push all the lighting conventions like Infocom, LDI, NAM. They're going to try and put them all in the same month.
Which is what month? What month?
Well, some people are saying January. Some people are saying October. It's
Okay.
weird. You see speculation of everybody pushing back, but I mean, even Pro Light and Sound said, "Oh, we're just going to push back till later in the month in April." And I'm like, that's not going to work any better than it did last year.
Right.
Lollapalooza is still on. I heard that.
When's that scheduled for?
That's
July, August.
2021, isn't it?
They were moving everyone from 2020 to 2021, and
Right. I mean, John Legend, one of my clients, he still has his full calendar booked, but he told us not to think about before September.
Yeah. That's what I'm hearing.
But let me ask you guys. So, I mean, if LDI, just to pick one, was in October, are we going? Are you going?
I'm vaccinated.
I'm vaccinated. I'd go.
Yes, I'd go.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe they
How
should-
did you get vaccinated, Diana?
Well, it's easy for you, Patrick. You just decide at the last minute whether you want to roll out of bed and go. What, Matt?
How did you get vaccinated?
No, if I'm vaccinated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the only way that people in our age range are getting it is if they're in-person teaching.
No,
Or
actually,
healthcare.
or if you live in the Bronx. In the Bronx, they're vaccinating everybody. It doesn't matter.
Interesting.
They were just doing the people in the old age homes in the Bronx and over 65.
No, they open Yankee Stadium, and if you can get a appointment, it doesn't matter because the infection rate is so big in the Bronx.
So,
they're trying to
so everyone
slow-
would go? I mean,
That's good.
everyone, for the most part, everyone would go?
I mean,
LDI in
If I
October?
feel safe to travel and the world is a little better place in October, absolutely.
I definitely double mask it, but
I mean, assuming I don't have a awesomely huge gig at the exact same time by then, just saying.
Right. No, but
That would be
you
a
know,
nice reason to not be able to go, Diane.
Yeah, that's all good. No, I'm just
Yeah, I
saying,
mean,
is everyone
if
comfortable
somebody's
to go to a
showering
trade show in October?
How do you feel? Would you go, Marcel?
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'd
Okay.
go, but I'm stupid, I guess. So I don't know. I mean, I've been to races, I've been to restaurants 3-4 times a week. I've been, to a lot of places, and I wear a mask when I need to. But I would go to LDI in June. Honestly, I mean, because the thing is, I wouldn't shake anybody's hand, or I would, maybe a few people, but I've learned not to shake hands just because of racing. Because at races, these guys, like, you watch them in the bathrooms and they don't wash their hands in the bathroom. So I never shake racing guys' hands anyways. So I'm starting to carry that through to lighting people as well, because I'm just assuming none of you wash your hands after you go to the bathroom. Just saying.
Why
It's
is
not
that a
about
thing?
COVID. It's not about COVID. I'm just thinking you got pee on your hands or something, you know? I don't know.
Lighting guys actually wash their hands before they go to the bathroom because they actually do work.
Yes, indeed.
Well,
the audio guys that you got to worry about.
Yeah, those guys are funny anyways. No, I mean, I'd feel comfortable going. I wouldn't be hugging people and you know, but I'd feel comfortable going to a trade show.
But the real question is, could we go to the titty bars?
I don't do that anymore anyways. I don't do that anymore anyways.
I would love to go to one with Marcia. I think that would be so much fun.
I think I've probably been
It
to a
is
few
fun.
with
Ask
Marcia.
Marcel.
I have fond memories of a few of those crazy evenings. And Cynthia,
We've had
if
some
any of you
good
know
nights.
Cynthia,
Oh my
if any of you
God.
know
Oh, yeah.
Cynthia, that's like going to frickin', you know, a steak convention with a pit bull. You know, I mean, it's frickin' insanity. She's
Oh my
bouncing off the
God.
walls, Cynthia.
We definitely had some fun nights there with the booty dance, didn't we?
Definitely had a few, yes. So I remember one time,
Cynthia.
and David, you might have to cover your ears, but one time I made Jackie Tien go with me to, I think it was Crazy Horse in Las Vegas, and I got her a lap dance, and the look on her face was like, "Oh my God, what is happening right now?" She wasn't
to buy
happy.
a full page ad one time if I would go to the titty bar with you. And
I
said
tried
no.
I tried so hard, David. I tried so hard to get David to come to a strip club with me, but he wouldn't come.
You just invited him to the wrong strip club, buddy.
Well, I have standards. I have standards. I have
You
standards.
got to take him to the Thunder Down Under, and then he'll hang.
I went. So Steve Cohen and Joel Young one time. We were doing. I think it was
What's the
NSYNC.
Thunder Down Under?
No, I think it was NSYNC, and we were in New Orleans. And Steve said, "Marcel, do you appreciate my business?" And I said, "Very much so, Stephen." And he said, "You know, do you appreciate it a lot?" And I said, "Yeah, no, I love your business. Thank you very much. I appreciate it." We were doing like NSYNC and Madonna, and we were doing like Ford. No, it wasn't Madonna because that was Peter. I don't know. We were doing a bunch of tours with him at that time. And so he made me go with him and Joel to a special place in New Orleans. And wow, you know, it changed my life. Definitely changed my life.
That's good. Everybody needs some life changing.
Yeah.
See it from the other side.
It was good. I have a very open mind when it comes to supporting my friends. So
good.
New Orleans is a fun city to get lost in too.
I love New Orleans. Such a cool place. I never appreciated American Express so much. So I went to a Super Bowl at New Orleans once, and I forgot to make any dinner reservations at all. And so we're in New Orleans for a Super Bowl, and everything's completely booked, right? And it's like, oh man, what do I do? And I went, wait, American Express has this wicked concierge service. So I called American Express and I said, you know, I need some dinner reservations. Where would you like to go? I don't know. How about Emerald's? Can't get you Emerald's, but I can get you Delmonico's or what's the other Emerald? Is it Delmonico's? No,
Del Frisco's.
Is that the one? The steakhouse that Emerald owns in New Orleans.
I think that's Delmonico.
Yeah.
Delmonico.
So that and like the really good breakfast place, I forget what it's called, and like all the really good places in New Orleans, Amex had me set up just like that. It was like, wow, so cool. So we were in Delmonico's sitting next to what's the guy's name? Howie Long and what's the ESPN guy? Oh my God, the announcer. Jesus, I don't watch it. No, the guy who's the football guy. What the hell is
Chris Berman.
Anyways, Chris Berman. That's the one. I'm sitting at a table like they're right there, and we're just going, "Hey guys, what do you think about the game tomorrow?" So it was pretty fun. But
Sounds
MX
like an
is
all
good. Yeah. Bob, you got anything for us today or no?
I sent you a text.
Oh, what'd you say?
Well, show
Yeah,
and
no.
tell. 20 to 30s jazz or 18th century seafarers.
Jesus Christ. Somebody pick.
Yes.
Yes.
18th century.
Jazz. Jazz it is?
I'm hearing more
All right.
jazz than 18th century.
Well,
You and
both of
Chris
you
are going to
for-
have to have a private FaceTime or something on the 18th century stuff.
No, it's pretty interesting. But anyways, sure.
Oh, no, just save it for another week.
Yeah,
We'll
next
work.
week.
I will. I'm ready on the jazz thing. So I need a full screen.
Oh, I'm sorry. Jesus, I should know better. Whoops. Hang on. Give me a second. I clicked the wrong button.
Let's see. I'm gonna do the share mine.
There you go.
Give me a second here. Make sure it's doing the right thing. No, hold on. Let's go full screen. And
Marcel, I still see you. Did you? Ah, there we go.
this is where it starts.
At Google. Everything starts at Google.
Are you seeing Google or are you seeing a big?
We see
stamp?
Google.
Really?
See Google and the Sandwich
Gave me the
Island.
wrong screen. Let me try that again.
Yeah, you shared the
That's
wrong
so
screen.
Wait,
You silly bastard.
you can't do that with everyone.
Imagine what else you've got up there, Marcel. All right.
Yeah, that's why I'm really careful about sharing.
How about
my
there?
screen.
Much better.
Oh,
Victrola.
nice.
Okay. So this is a Victrola, and it starts before RCA as a partner. And this is another machine that sits at my house. And
You must have
this,
a huge house.
Big house, yeah.
let me get over to that screen so I can advance it. Hold on.
By the way, Bob, did you see the picture I sent you yesterday?
No. Yeah.
The bike ride where I was following.
Oh, yeah. You said you were thinking
I
about
was in
me.
Maui. Yeah. I was riding around Maui on my bike, and
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was really appreciated, actually. Thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was you because I just got a phone number with it. It didn't say Marcel.
Yeah, that was
You
me.
didn't have the Marcel in the bottom left.
Well, that's
corner.
because I'm not in your phone book, you bastard.
Oh, there you go.
Oriental letters for on that.
All right.
That.
So there.
Wow.
Nice.
And
Damn.
there.
Do you have to crank it while you're listening, or what?
I'm going to show you everything in a second. How do these machines happen? Well, they're pretty interesting, actually. So from this thing right here, this is actually really early silica, which is actually a type of stone. And this hard needle comes up through here, vibrates against this like an eardrum, comes against this tube, and will backhand through the reflex speaker here.
Jesus.
And so these are the hard ass needles one uses. Notice
Holy moly.
only one needle
Once
used
only?
one time because it's sharp for only one play of a record.
Jesus.
In the bottom of this is a storage of mostly jazz.
And
Oh,
what are
that's
they?
amazing.
What format are they?
78s. And
Oh, okay.
78 stuck around all the way to the 40s. So this is a collection of jazz. And now we're going to get out of that one. I'm going to stop for a second. I wonder if I can change the screen. I'm going to stop for a second and share again and go to something else. Give me just a sec. Bear with me now.
Did you collect those records separately or did they come with the Victrola?
No, they did not come with any, actually. I found them on the Big Island when I was doing let's see, hold on. There, that's where we want to go.
A triathlon?
And, when I was doing the triathlon.
Yeah, you were doing the Ironman. Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So I think I'll play you this other one first for just a second. And this is this machine. And share. And this is what it looks like, but I'll give you one that's got more detail later. So yeah, Yeah, definitely. I'll give you another shot from the other side for a second. I'm going to play this for a moment.
Minnie the Moocher.
Now, that's Minnie the Moocher, which is Cab Calloway.
Mhm.
But the reason I'm showing you this is so that you can find out what it sounds like with an old player. But what they don't tell you, and you always see these in the movies, is they're really scratchy all the time, and it's because everybody plays them with the thing open. And let's just make sure. Hang on a second. I didn't lose it. I didn't. There we go. Because the surface noise is on it, and that's what this demo is about. Because if you actually close the cover, and this also shows you what it takes to get it going. And I'm talking in it, but it's actually it's so loud that you can't see it. So you unlock it, you get it up to speed, drop the needle, adjust the speed. So I'm telling you, if you get rid of the surface noise,
That's awesome.
that's the volume control, is the two doors.
Is that Cab Calloway?
It is.
Yeah.
In fact,
That
I
is
don't know
awesome.
who has grandchildren that know Minnie the Moocher, but I do.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Anyway.
You got a sub connected to that thing?
So there you go. So that's a
awesome,
bit
man.
of 30s jazz. That's a great machine that works. And
That's fantastic.
you're
Thank
able
you
to
for sharing.
Cab Calloway. But actually, it's been really handy because it's kind of interesting. My grandkids, when they were growing up, they lived in the house, and they'd always get scared when the power went out. Now they go up and drag me out of bed, and we'll fire up the Victrola.
Oh, that's so cool.
Because that's what's going to run. Turn on
You
the
guys
few
are going to have
candles
to
and
step
listen
it
to
up
jazz.
because sooner or later, Bob's going to run out of shit to show us. So you know, we're going to have to, like, Chris will be rebuilding his engine and showing us, you know, here's the new clutch I'm putting into the Cobra. And how's the Cobra doing this week, Chris?
It's awesome. It runs so good right now. It's almost done.
It's almost done. It's
Just
going to be
gotta change-
almost done forever.
Just got to change the fluids now. It's done.
Did you see the new? Did you see the new truck?
Which truck?
The new.
The
Ford,
Raptor.
The new Raptor. Yeah.
Raptor. Yeah, it's ugly.
You don't like it?
Nah, it takes the black all the way across the front instead of the color of the car. Kind of looks ugly. It's trying to emulate the new Bronco. It's.
You don't like the Bronco? I like the Bronco. Really?
It's not good for a Raptor, but the one that everybody's going to want is going to be the R, which has the GT500 in it, and it's going to be $95,000 base, and dealer's going to mark it up 50 grand.
So I have a friend. I have a very good friend who's a Ford truck dealer, and that's where I buy my F-150s from. And so yeah. Anyways, I keep that in my pocket.
Yeah, I get the employee plan with Ford because we do all their boosts. So CT, we get Ford employee plans.
Yeah. Well, I get this crazy deal where he specs it out for himself with every possible thing that they've got, right? And then he has to put, I think it's 2,500 or 2,700 miles on it or something, and then he can sell it to me. And then he gives me an extended warranty. So I get some like family warranty thing that goes for 5 years or whatever. I don't know. But
it's 100,000 miles.
That's how I've bought my last two trucks.
Yeah.
So they're brand new, but they're not, you know?
You can also still, like with our employee discount, the best part is you can still negotiate it. So you start at a lower price, and then if it's like a $5,000 off weekend, you get to use all those credits as well. That's why we get.
Oh, that's cool.
That's why we always have Fords. I mean,
that's good.
We get some pretty good
runs
deals.
like a rape tape off road, boy.
What's that?
That Raptor runs like a rape tape off road.
It does.
It's hard to say, isn't it? Rape tape, rape.
I'm gonna post something in the chat for you guys that's definitely worth just taking a look at.
What is it?
Industry standpoint of cool, creative things. I don't know if you guys saw this, but last weekend, David Guetta played his. He's been doing these recurring things for fundraisers for, I think it's UNICEF, and he played on the helipad at the top of the Burj Al Arab in Dubai.
Oh wow!
And they did a really, really cool show. He did one prior to that, New Year's Eve, where he did a show at the Louvre in Paris.
That was amazing. I saw that one.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, the Louvre one was incredible.
But if you just jump like 20 minutes into this thing.
20 minutes?
For real. Yeah, it runs for a while. I think he does like an hour and 15-minute set or something. But
damn!
Really cool. They did some
fantastic. Insane. Look at that.
Full video floor.
Crazy.
Nice.
It's a lot of fun to watch.
Good heavens. How cool is that?
That's insane.
Yeah, it's really neat. They've been making as a
Who's
team
the LD on that one?
great choices about where to architecturally do these shows. And I'm pretty sure they're going to end up doing it.
So friggin' cool.
It's really fantastic.
It really is.
The operating team was in a room just a few floors underneath and had monitors all set up. So they were running their lighting, their video, lasers, everything in their station, socially distanced, and all tied up to the main helipad.
That is so cool. When was this?
I think he did this Friday. I mean, our time, it was like Friday, 3 a.m. or something, Dubai time.
Wow.
Some great visuals.
Thanks for sharing that, man. That's so cool.
It was really neat.
Are those drone shots or helicopter shots?
No, drones. They were shooting drones around, but I don't know how they let them do it. There are some phenomenal drone shots. I wish he'd really appreciate it. They fly that through the architecture of the Burj Al Arab and then zip it down the entire length of it and out onto the highway for the approach coming into the building. It's really phenomenal.
That's so cool. I'm going to watch the whole thing.
Sick flying.
That's a cool, like in the background kind of video to have running.
Well, thanks, folks.
That kind of music, his stuff lately is really, really good.
I gotta go. I gotta go to a soccer game. Have I mentioned before that I'm not a freaking soccer fan?
But you are a soccer mom now.
I don't.
But now
like
you're a soccer dad.
Oh, I do yell. I do yell at the other people.
At the ref, you yell at the ref.
I yell at everybody. I yell at
the players. You yell at the players.
Gets hopped up
Yell
on
at
them
everybody.
White Claws and starts throwing the cans at the ref.
That's me. That's me.
Now Marcel knows. Now you know my pain, baby. All the soccer games for the girls.
I'm not as bad as you for
He's
sure.
not
Chris.
getting banned
I'm
from the
definitely-
state league like Asen.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris is writing letters to the governor. This soccer program is dog shit.
Yep.
All right, everyone. See you next week.
You guys have
See ya.
Have a good week,
Bye.
everyone.
Have a good one. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun today.
Yeah.